On the first day of the annual G20 summit in Rio de Janeiro, President Biden reaffirmed U.S. support for the people of Israel and Ukraine.
The United States strongly supports Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Everyone around this table, in my view, should as well. And by the way, Russia's brutal invasion of Ukraine led to the highest record food prices in all of history. In Gaza, as I've said before, Israel has the right to defend itself after the worst massacre of the Jews since the Holocaust. But how it defends itself, even as Hamas cruelty hides among civilians, matters a great deal.
CBS News chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes joins us now. Nancy, great to see you. Well, we just heard Biden put the war in Ukraine at the center of his G20 agenda, and that comes just as he announced a new policy allowing those long-range missiles into Russia. I wonder how much this big push has to do with Trump winning a second term and Biden's own time running out to support Ukraine.
I think it has a lot to do with it, Weija. I mean, the president has been making a clear push in Brazil for not only the world, but also sending a message back to the incoming administration here at home about the importance of continuing to support Ukraine. His administration says that the reason, for example, that they are providing these long-range missiles, the ATACMS, to the Ukrainians now, when the Ukrainians have been asking for them for months, is because of the presence of North Korean troops fighting side by side with Russian troops now on the battlefield. But it is no accident that this is happening just as Joe Biden is standing there on the world stage with other G20 leaders, including the foreign minister of Russia, Sergei Lavrov. He's certainly attempting to signal that, yes, the U.S. policy may change when Donald Trump is president, but that it is still important for U.S. allies to pick up the mantle here and perhaps lead the charge to continue supporting Ukraine and providing military aid.
Well, the president also met face-to-face with China's President Xi Jinping over the weekend. Did anything significant come out of that?
I think the most significant thing that came out of that meeting, a rare meeting between President Biden and Xi Jinping, had to do with AI and the use of AI to direct nuclear weapons. The two leaders agreed that nuclear weapons should always be handled by, directed by humans rather than AI. And that may sound kind of far-fetched and esoteric, but these kinds of weapons are being developed by advanced nations. And essentially what President Biden and President Xi said was that nuclear weapons are just much too dangerous, much too deadly, ever to be handled by or directed by even sophisticated AI when you're making these really important and very deadly decisions. Beyond that, they both kind of came there with messages that they wanted to deliver to the other, but I think it would have been difficult for them to make any other major long-lasting agreements when the reality is that Joe Biden is going to be leaving in a couple of months and a new president is coming in who has a very different approach to China.
That is very true. Thank you so much, Nancy Cordes.